Good evening, everyone. It's James. I'm back to break down everything that happened last night on Saturday night's main event. Now, as many of you know, this was John Cena's final match of his legendary career. I'll get to that momentarily. But first, let's break down the card from top to bottom. The first match saw Obafemi, the NXT champion, face the current WWE champion Cody Rhodes. And as you would expect, this was a very back and forth encounter. But in the early going, it looked like Obafemi was dominating. That is until Drew McIntyre showed up out of nowhere and ruined everything for everybody, causing the match to end in a no contest. So we don't know who would have won overall, but I have a feeling this storyline is far from over, and we will continue to see Obafemi on the main roster in the very near future, in addition to his appearances on NXT. Now, speaking of NXT, another standout was Sol Ruca, when she would take on Bayley in a very high-profile women's match. This, as you can expect, was another back-and-forth encounter. But in the end, Sol Ruca was able to connect with a very innovative cartwheel into a DDT for the Soul Snatcher and was able to beat Bayley by pin. So that puts NXT on the map as far as I'm concerned. The next match was AJ Styles and Dragon Lee together against Leon Slater and the young OG Javon Evans. This was about as classic a high-flying tag team encounter as you'd expect. But in the end, it was the veterans that defeated the young OGs. So therefore, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, the tag team champions, brought home a victory. Then, as we were breaking down John Cena's final match, we were interrupted by The Miz, who was once again complaining that he was not on the show. He was interrupted by his former tag team partner, R-Truth, and we finally figured out whose ball it was in the tumbler that The Miz switched out with his own. And it happened to be the former TNA World Champion, Joe Hendry. Yes, I said his name, which means that he was bound to show up, and he did. Together, Joe Hendry and R-Truth took it to The Miz and left him laying in the middle of the ring in what many consider to be the most comical segment of the night. But it was a lot of fun. So at long last, we're at the main event. The winner of the last time is now Tournament Gunther against John Cena. Now, many of you may recall, back in July, Gunther retired Goldberg in a world title match. So many people thought that John Cena was in big trouble in the early going, including myself. But surprisingly, this was actually a very even match. John Cena fought as hard as anybody thought he would in the ring, and he gave Gunther everything he had, and he left the fans with everything he had. And despite many, many, many chances to win, Gunther was just too resilient. So in the end, it took, I think, 6 or 7 attempts at a sleeper hold before John Cena finally gave up for the first time in his career. And yes, I said that right. He did not pass out. He did not black out, and he was not pinned. He actually tapped after 7 attempts at a sleeper hold from Gunther. But John Cena definitely left an indelible mark on the wrestling industry, and he will be sorely missed for a very long time. So, not the way many fans expected for it to happen, but Cena was definitely given his flowers, and it was very well deserved. And I echo the dirt sheets when I say it won't be long before we see John Cena in the WWE Hall of Fame. But even though his in-ring career is over, I'm happy to report that John Cena will remain a part of WWE as an ambassador, because if you've seen that interview he did with Tom Rinaldi, then you know that John Cena has signed on to be an ambassador for WWE for the next 5 years. So we'll see where his entertainment career goes from here and what else he can do for the company. But on behalf of the millions of fans that you entertained over the years, including myself, I'm proud to once again say thank you, Cena. Thank you for the memories. All that being said, remember to stay tuned tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw, because CM Punk returns to Raw. So you gotta wonder what is on the mind of the world champion ahead of his big showdown with Braun Breaker in 3 weeks. So stay tuned for that, live from Hershey, Pennsylvania on Monday and streaming only on Netflix. And I'll be here to break it down to the best of my ability. But that being said, thank you very much again. And until next time, love one another. Thank you.